Hello, we've got another game here. This will be an English opening. The ECO code, it will be A17. This is a standard game. The time control is 20 minutes plus 10 seconds per move. Our themes will be creating targets. In this game I'm playing white, and this will be an English opening. C4, E6, knight C3, knight F6, G3. The idea of white's opening is he wants to control the white squares, especially the D5 square. He plans on playing this bishop to G2 and bringing his knight to D3, maybe knight to F3, and then this knight to D2, putting pressure on the light squares here on this diagonal. Also, he'll be looking at bringing his rook over to B1 and pushing his queenside pawns. That's kind of an overall idea of the variations that I like to play in English. So let's see how this game progresses. After G3, black played C6. What black wants to do is he's challenging my control over D5. He's got these two pawns plus his knight, and he's going to push this D5 pawn, and it'll be supported by his queen. So he's pretty well shut down my idea of controlling the D5 square. I continue with bishop to G2, D5, C takes D, E takes D, and now D4. Now at this point, I've pretty well, my original idea of controlling the light squares has not worked out, so I'm going to have to change my idea of what do I want to play and how I want to play it. What I'm going to do is just try to develop my pieces and to the best squares that I can find and look for weakness in black's position and take advantage of it. So black plays bishop b4, I play queen to c2, protecting the knight, castles, knight to f3, rook e8, and now I've castled, bishop e6, and bishop to g5, pinning his knight to his queen. He plays knight at b to d7, and I play a3, attacking his bishop. He plays bishop a5, I play b4, and b6. At this point, I've come up with my idea. I control the half-open C file, and possibly what I'm looking at is possibly bringing this knight to a4 and then into c5 and putting some pressure on the queen side. I also have possibly this knight could go to e5, also adding to pressure on the queen side. So that's my general overall idea of what I would like to accomplish. So after b6, white plays e3, h6, attacking my bishop. I play bishop to f4, and now he plays bishop to c7, which is a good move because actually that bishop at b6 is not going to do anything for black. He's pretty well hemmed in. So I'm pretty well exchange. He retakes with the queen, and now knight to a4, going along with the idea I showed earlier of placing my knight at c5. If black should play, let's say, b5 or even to b6, then the c6 pawn becomes weak, and this will be my target, which I will direct my attack towards. After knight to a4, black plays knight e4, knight to c5. I've got my knight on a nice square now, and black immediately exchanges it, and I retake with my b pawn, keeping my pawn chain intact here on the king side. My new target will be the b7 square, since it is on a backwards pawn on a half-open file. That's what I'm going to be looking at. He plays f6. The idea is to keep my knight out of e5. Now also note that this could be bad for black because he's now weakened his white squares around his king. Though he has his bishop to defend it, it's just something that you should keep in mind when you make a pawn move, that you could be creating a very big weakness. Now it doesn't make play into the how the game come out in this particular game, but just something to keep in mind. F6, white plays knight to d2. He plays knight to g5, and I play rook at a to b1. Now, possibly a better variation for white would have been f4, knight h7, f5, gaining space on the king side, attacking his light squared bishop, bishop f7, rook at a to e1, and rook e7. And white's looking at a pawn break here in the center with his e-pawn. So that might have been a better continuation, but I played instead rook at a to b1, going along, continuing with my theme of attacking his backwards b7 pawn. He plays rook at a to b8. Rook at a to b8, defending a pawn. h4, attacking the knight, and now he plays knight to h3 check. I think he would have been better to retreat the knight to, let's say, f7 and reposition the knight maybe from there to h8 and then to f6, giving the knight some scope. But anyway, he played knight to h3 instead, and I played king to h2, queen to d7, and now I make a pawn break in the center with e4. He plays g5, and I played e takes d5. He played bishop to f5, thinking hoping he might win the exchange, attacking my queen and rook. But I block with my bishop. He retakes with his bishop. Bishop takes e4. I take with my knight, and he plays queen to e7. And here I played king takes h3, but a much better move would have been knight to d6. Here I'd have been attacking his rook, attacking his pawn. I can have my rook here, plus my king is still attacking his undefended knight. So that would have been a much better move for me. I missed it. I seen the undefended here at h3, and I went ahead and grabbed it too quickly. I should have took a little more time, looked at the position. But that's what happens sometimes. So black plays queen takes e4. I go ahead and exchange queens. He retakes with the rook. And I played d takes c6. And the reason I decided to exchange queens was because of my nice pawn majority I have here in the center. So black plays after d takes c6. He plays g takes h4. I played c7. He plays rook at b to e8. And I played rook takes b7. He plays the rook back with the idea of most probably getting behind the passed pawn. But after I played rook to b8, black seeing his position as undefendable. He's going to lose at least a rook, so he resigned. So I hope you enjoyed the game. Just kind of gave you a quick overview of my ideas of what I was trying to do as the game progressed, and how my original plan of controlling the white squares was taken away by my opponent. But I found a new plan and a new way to win, and hope you enjoyed. So take care until next time.